Hey guys, it's your boy Reafi back here. Sorry if I sound a little bit sick. I am sick, and I've been in bed all day for like the entire weekend. So not feeling too hot, but we're gonna still make a video, and hopefully you guys can get some information from it. So I know I only really received one comment asking this question in like recently, but this is something that I always wanted to go over because I felt that people always have this misconception. And basically it's about VERDEHILE, on how to ruin VERDEHILE, what to ruin him with, and what kind of stats you want. And I see this all too often. I see this mistake all the time. Now, if you notice, if you look at my VERDEHILE, there's one thing you might notice that he's really lacking on. Have you guys spotted it yet? It's not his HP. It's not his crit damage. And it's for sure not his accuracy. It's his speed. And if you look at the speed, you'll notice that it is pretty freaking slow. It is slower than all of my other units that I would possibly use it with. So we're going to go through it. We're going to discuss the different types of builds that you can use with VERDEHILE and why you'll want to ruin him slower than you previously thought. So first, we're going to be talking about the Swift set. If we talk about the Swift set, this is something that very few people do. Scat Fetus did it for a while to pair with his Sylvia. It had pretty decent results, and you could do it if you want to set up this really fast speed team. Now, if you're going to go with the Swift set, you're going to have to make VERDEHILE extremely fast. You're going to have to make him on some like Bernard level runes. You're going to need to get like plus 160 speed or higher, because you're going to want him to have at least 30% more speed than your other units. And this is because of the way that his passive works. His passive works by increasing the attack bars of your allies by 20% per hit. His first skill hits 2 times. So, if your VERDEHILE is the exact same speed as your units, well, they're not really getting that much of an attack bar increase. But if he's a lot faster than them, which is a little bit hard because his base speed really sucks, but if he is a lot faster than them, is not only going to increase their attack gauge to the fullest amount as soon as he moves, but once your other units all move, he'll have about 60 to 70% of his attack bar filled already, and then he'll be ready to go again to increase the attack gauge even more. And since he is faster than the other units, it's going to increase the range between their attack gauges. So he might be at 100% again, and now the units are at 40 to 50% of their attack gauge filled. Give it another turn, and now they're at like 30% of their attack gauge filled. So, etc., etc., it keeps going, and eventually it'll overlap. And you want to try to minimize the overlap as much as possible. And what I found is having around like the 30% range of more speed than them is good for that. And that's the Swift VERDEHILE. That is very situational. Not a lot of people do that. If you guys are building a Swift VERDEHILE because you don't have the runes, it's completely different. And we're going to go into the next set, which is the most common set of VERDEHILE, which is Violent. Now, Violent, here we're talking about Violent, and a lot of people ruin him 200 speed or higher. And that always pains me to see that, because that is completely the bad way to ruin VERDEHILE. Now, you're probably wondering, like, how is giving him 200 speed bad? Like, that can't be bad, right? That's like awesome. Now, you'll notice, you look at my speed, I'm running Violent Revenge, and I'm running plus 55 speed. I'll tell you why. When he increases the attack gauge by 40%, he is increasing the attack gauge of your monsters by 40%, and that is extremely important for the turn order. If he is going first before everyone, even if it's by like 50 speed, at this range, he's not going to be increasing the attack gauge of your allies very much. So your attack gauge of your allies will already be up to like 10% away from him. So now, instead of increasing the attack gauge of 40%, now he's increasing the attack gauge of 10. Because the attack gauge, once it's filled, it's filled. It's not going to be going overboard. You know, it has this little system where it checks, you know, who reached it first or how far past you've gone, and you know, that kind of thing. But that's not really important, because most of the time you're going to be using him in Dragons V10 for PvE. So that's why you want him to go last. You can create a 200 speed VERDEHILE, but all that means is your other units should be faster than that. They should be at least 201 speed. Actually, the best Verdehill would be slightly slower than the rest of your team. Honestly, I think that is definitely the case. And I can go ahead and show you guys an example run through Dragons Beat 10. Now, of course, this team right here, I still need to change a few things. It's a little bit not super consistent, and I just re-ruined my Teor. So he's a little weak right now until I max his runes. But nonetheless, we're going to go ahead and show you. So immediately, you'll notice everyone's attack gauge is completely full. Now, if Verdehill were to have 200 speed, everyone would be slightly lower than that, around 10% away from the top attack gauge, and he would go first. He would increase everyone's attack gauge by 10%, boom, done. His increases by 40%, everyone moves. Then by the time he's ready to go again, everyone's attack gauge is like 80% up. So he's getting a lot of his first turns wasted. So you'll notice here, I have everyone set to go before him. Now, oh, I got a violent proc. I couldn't show you. We'll show it on this next one. I'll try to like keep one not defense broken, so it's like not gonna violent proc into it. Okay, so now you notice because of the way the turn order went, Galleon, who went first, has like 60% of his attack gauge up. Now imagine if this were the case that Verdehill went first. Verdehill would have his attack gauge at 60% by the time your last monster is about to go, because he went first. So everyone's attack gauge, all the other 3 units, are already increasing way up there. So by the time, you know, Galleon's going to go, or I'm sorry, your Verdehill would go, if he's faster than everyone, your attack gauge is already almost finished. So it's like almost no point. But with Verdehill at the very end, look at Tarks, not even halfway through. Look at the Teor, barely 10% through. And now you use the attack gauge, and now look where everyone's attack gauge is. Boom, all the way, almost completely filled. And now I've taken another turn, and I'll probably get in another turn after that as well. So if we just auto it, you guys can observe it through here. It's not like anything crazy math. It's all about trying to get the most turns that you can possibly get. Now, of course, there's overlap, but the overlap in it, compared to having more speed on your Verdehill than any of your other units, is actually a lot lower. So this overlap, you'll have about 3 or 4 turns where you're not overlapping. You look here, I'm still going before everyone. Now, of course, I told you my team's not consistent, so don't worry about that. But the example still stands. As long as your Verdehill is going exactly after all of your units, or just slightly after, then your Verdehill is going to attack gauge boost your entire team, as opposed to just attack gauging right at the beginning by like 10%. And then by the time you overlap for your super fast Verdehill, you might have already killed the dragon. So in terms of long term, you might want a fast Verdehill because there's obviously going to be overlap. But when those first turns matter very, very greatly, you're going to want to have him slower than your other units. Now we get into the discussion between Revenge and Nemesis. This isn't really that big of a deal. Revenge, I feel like, is the best option because obviously when you Revenge, it increases everyone's attack gauge again. His goes to fullest, and because he is lower attack gauge than everyone else, your other units still go first. So your entire attack order doesn't get completely screwed up. And everyone's faster than you too, so their attack gauge is increasing more than yours. So let's say you don't have your attack gauge full, even when you Revenge proc. Well, they're faster than you. They're going to slightly go further as you go up the attack gauge. They'll go first, and now your entire thing is reset. He goes after everyone. So, honestly, Revenge seems like the best ultimate way to ruin it. Of course, it's not going to protect completely about the overlap of the attack gauge, but it works. And Nemesis is a little bit different. The thing with Nemesis is it completely just changes the attack order and tries to make Verdehill go first. I personally do not like Nemesis on Verdehill. It really screws up the attack gauge order, and it can screw up your Dragon's Run if you're not careful. Obviously, you can use other sets, but the best ideal set would be Violent Revenge. If you have a very, very fast team, everyone has 200 speed or higher, that's when you can run a 200 speed Verdehill. But if you're running something around 170 speed, 160 speed, 180 speed, whatever is your lowest speed unit, which would be one of my Tarks since I don't have his runes completely maxed. This guy's at 163 speed. You'll notice that my Verdehill is at 158. Or no, actually 154. So definitely plan for Verdehill going last. You guys can observe with your team if you want. Check it. Double check it. Make sure that he is attack gauge boosting the entire team by the most amount that he could possibly do in that specific turn. So let me know what you guys think. If you guys have any questions, just leave them in the comment section below. I'm going to go make some soup and probably lay down in my bed for the rest of the day. Alright guys, I will see you all next time. And please, guys, stop emailing me about this like help a friend thing. This is going to be randomized. I'm going to be picking from that video in the comment section. But if you keep emailing me about it, like I'm getting like 20 or 30 emails a day asking, hey, I want you to go through my account and do my runes for me. Like, hold up. Chill. Okay? I already stated in this video. I'm doing it randomly. I'm not just picking off of emails. So, alright guys. I will see you all next time.